Let us continue with the graph or graphical representation of the motion. Last day we have started this graph, and the chapter we have started earlier, there we have already finished. What is this rest motion? How to describe the motion in the term of displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. Okay, what is uniform and non-uniform motion, that we have also learned. Then, considering this uniform and non-uniform motion, we had plotted the graph for displacement time and velocity time. Also, we have plotted the graph for the rest. Today we are going to plot the other graph for the motion. Okay, and we will derive this formula S equals to ut plus half at square. Student, let us quickly recall or recap. This was about the rest. You are getting that? Even the rest can also be represented graphically. For describing the motion or rest, we have the three quantity. One is distance covered, another is speed or velocity, and the third one is acceleration. So even for the rest, the distance covered is 0. So if the observer itself is at the point where the body is laying, like you are the observer and you want to watch the rest of the car or a ball. So ball is the body and you are the observer, and ball is quite closer to you, then you will say distance of that ball from you is almost 0, and it always remains 0 even passes of time. So it is this representation. With increasing time, the distance which is on the vertical axis remains 0. But it may be possible that the ball is at certain distance, say 10 meters away from you, and you are observing it. Then for the ball at rest, even the time passes, the distance remains that much. Here the distance is taken as the 5 meters. So the ball will always remain at the 5 meters. So even at 1 second, 2 seconds, so it is this one. So for the body at rest, the graph or the distance time graph or even the displacement time graph is either a straight line on the time axis or a straight line parallel to the time axis. The other thing, the speed time graph can be drawn. So for the speed time graph, the speed for a body at rest is always 0. So the graph will be a line on the time axis, because here the speed on this vertical axis is 0. Acceleration, the body at rest, no change in speed, or even the speed itself is 0. So acceleration is also 0. So acceleration will time graph. So acceleration time graph is also a straight line on the time axis. With this much we had learned earlier. A student, even for the body at motion, we had also learned. We can see quickly, because today I will draw all this situation just in the form of graph without considering the axis. So uniform, non-uniform motion that we had started. From here we had started the graph or graphical representation. As students, we have learned that a body in motion, it can be plotted on the graph with reference to the time on the horizontal axis, and either the distance covered or speed or acceleration on the vertical axis. For a body in uniform motion, means the body cover equal distance in equal interval of time. So distance time graph for such body is a line which is inclined with respect to time axis. Here we are getting this graph is not parallel to time axis. This indicates that with increasing the time, the distance is also increasing. This is the distance time graph for a body under uniform motion. Students, we have learned that from the graph two things can be calculated. One is area, another is the slope. Area, so area of this curve with the time axis. Now, this area can give a useful quantity if it is defined in physics. Similarly, the slope means the ratio of the quantity on vertical axis and the time. If that ratio is defined in physics, give some physical quantity, that quantity can be obtained. If it is not defined, then we cannot get any useful quantity. So student, considering the area and the slope, we can summarize this graph. So if distance time graph we are considering, where distance is on the vertical axis, time on the horizontal axis, the area do not going to give us any quantity, because distance into time is not at all any quantity. Okay, but this distance by time is going to give the speed. So that's why the slope gives speed or velocity. Velocity in case of the displacement time graph, speed in case of the distance time graph. Another, consider the velocity time graph, where on the y-axis velocity is placed and on the horizontal axis time is placed. In this case, on vertical axis it is the velocity or speed, and horizontal axis is the time. So for taking the area bounded, we have to take this vertical axis multiplied by horizontal axis. So v into t, and we have already learned this v into t is nothing but it is the distance covered. So speed into time is distance. Means the area can gives us the distance or displacement. In case of speed time graph, it will give us the distance, and in case of the velocity time graph, considering the area algebraically or along with the sign, it can gives us the displacement. Another, taking the ratio, means velocity by time or speed by time. We have learned that speed by time is defined as a quantity called acceleration. So the slope is going to give us the acceleration. The next one is the acceleration time graph, where acceleration is plotted on this vertical axis, time on the horizontal axis. Then a into t, student, we have learned that this is our velocity. Since acceleration is given by change in velocity or velocity by time, so a into t is going to give us the velocity. So velocity can be obtained from the area, but a by t, acceleration by time, is not at all any quantity defined in the physics. So slope is not going to give us any quantity. These are the key things for understanding the graph. So what can be calculated from which kind of graph? That question is asked, and it is very important. Now, this graph can be a line parallel to time axis, can be a straight line inclined on time axis, maybe a curved line. So which kind of graph it will be, that we are going to learn today. But the concept of calculating distance or displacement or velocity from which kind of graph, those things remains the same. Student, from that graph we have concluded that velocity or the speed can be calculated from two kind of graph. One is from distance time graph. So from distance time graph, taking its slope, we can get the velocity or speed. Or even from the acceleration time graph, for acceleration time graph, we have to take the area under that curve and the time axis. So velocity can be calculated either from the slope of ST graph or from the area under AT graph. Now displacement can be calculated from the area under VT graph by only one method. And another, acceleration can be calculated from the slope of the VT graph. So these three things are very important. Based on these three, different kind of questions are framed. Now, considering these three, we had also plotted for the non-uniform motion, where we have learned that for a body under non-uniform motion, means under different conditions, means under the equal interval of time, the body is going to cover different distance. In that case, the graph is not the straight line, rather it is a curved line moving upward sharply. Okay, student, that we have learned. It may be possible that to go downward also. Okay, so the curve, it is not the straight line, rather a curve for non-uniform motion. So when the body is under this non-uniform motion, means if the distance time graph, means ST graph, is like this, or displacement time graph is under this, then it is for the non-uniform motion. And in this non-uniform motion, we have the acceleration. So acceleration is not zero. But for the uniform motion, acceleration is zero. Unless or until it is changing the direction. Okay, student? It is this one. This thing we have learned. Even for this non-uniform motion, if we plot the velocity time graph, then that velocity time graph come as a straight line inclined at some angle. It was this. So velocity time graph for non-uniform motion. But if we plot the velocity time graph for the uniform motion, students, this is the distance time graph for the uniform motion. If we want to plot the velocity time graph for this non-uniform motion, keep in mind, I want to put the velocity here and time here. Students, you can mark it as 0, 1 or 0, 5, 10, 20 or 10, 15, then 20, so on. As you may mark this as 10, 20, so on. It is speed in meter per second and t in the second. Students, observing this. So for this distance time graph, the speed is calculated, and the speed from the slope that we had calculated was our 8 meter per second. And this speed is always the same. See here, in different interval we had calculated the speed, and it was always 8 meter per second. So it is our 8 meter per second at all the time, whether at 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds or 20 seconds or 25 seconds. Means what? A student, if we want to plot this, so at 5 seconds the speed is still 8. It is this one. Even at the 10 second, it is still this one, this point, this point. For the 15 second, still this one. For the 20 second, still this one. For the 25 second, still it is this one. So joining all this by the straight line, we are getting that the graph. What is this, student? Keep in mind, it is the velocity time graph for a body under uniform motion is a line horizontal to the time axis. It is not on the time axis. So it is the speed is equals to 8 meter per second. So for the uniform motion, students, for the uniform motion, the distance time graph is a line inclined with the time axis. But its velocity time graph is a straight line. And at how much distance on this velocity axis? The same, whatever the speed is there or the velocity is there, 8 meters per second. The 10 scale was here. We have marked this as the 8. Okay, student? So this way we have understood for the uniform motion, the distance time graph will be continuously increasing, but velocity time graph will be a straight line parallel to time axis. It cannot be on the time axis. If it is on this time axis, it means it is representing zero speed or zero velocity. At that time, it is acting like a rest, just we had run. But comparing this with the speed time graph of non-uniform motion, students, comparing that graph with the graph for the speed time graph for a non-uniform motion. Okay, students? So this is the velocity time graph for non-uniform motion. Getting no? It is for the non-uniform motion, where the distance time graph is a curved line upward. So here we are getting, in this case, the velocity time graph that we are going to get means V here, T here is continuously increasing like this. It will have some value. If it is starting from some point, it may be the u. So velocity time graph for non-uniform motion but constant acceleration. So acceleration value is not 0. We are taking a is equals to constant, then this VT graph is a line which is inclined with respect to time axis, though its distance time graph was continuously increasing like this. So this is what the nature of graph that we have to understand. And by observing the nature of graph, which kind of motion the body is having, that can be predicted or that can be written. So we have to summarize those things today. And a student, very interesting. And today, with the help of this velocity time graph, we are going to calculate the important relation S is equals to ut plus half ATA square. This relation we are going to derive. Here we have to keep in mind, students, since it is a velocity time graph, means what? If I consider certain point on this velocity time graph, let us consider this one and this point up to this much, up to this time I am considering, then this angle gives the slope and that slope defines the acceleration. So here slope is obtained as the acceleration, and which is equals to this change in this velocity, which is our delta v by whatever this time taken t. So it is delta v by t. Means if we consider this value as v and this value is v, this value is u. So this much distance or this much is our delta v. It is our v minus u. From the velocity time graph, taking the slope of this curve, we can get the acceleration. Means if the acceleration is existing, that is obtained by taking this vertical, which is the change in the velocity, by the horizontal, which is the time. And this relation we are going to use for deriving the second kinematic equation, S equals to ut plus half ATA square. It is this one that we are going to derive. So whatever we have learned till now, we are going to summarize this, all the type of graph and their importance today at one place. So a student, keep in mind different graph for motion or rest. So total 3 type of graph we have to draw in each case. One is distance time or displacement time, another is velocity or speed time, and the third one is acceleration time graph. These are the 3 types of graph that we can draw for each kind of motion, even for the uniform motion, for the non-uniform motion, for the body at rest. That's why if a body is at rest and observer at the body itself, then distance is 0, and since the body at rest, its speed is always 0, its acceleration is also 0. In this case, the distance is also 0. So distance time graph is this one. If the object is some far away or at certain distance from the observer, here observer at A, and initial distance is 5 meters, the speed is 0, the acceleration is 0, so body will always remain at that 5 meter distance, and the graph is like this. So a straight line parallel to the time axis. Students, the next one is our speed time graph for the body at rest. The speed time graph is a line on the time axis itself, which indicate the speed is 0. The acceleration time graph, again a line on the time axis where acceleration is your 0. Now coming for the motion. Students, the similar kind of graph or the nature of graph we are just going to plot quickly. So right, for the uniform motion, and for the non-uniform motion. So these two are the possibilities for the body in motion. So we will draw for the uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So first, for the uniform motion, for the uniform motion, again in this uniform motion, the first thing can be your distance time graph. For uniform motion, the body covers equal distance in equal interval of time. So distance time graph, we have to plot the distance on this vertical axis, time on the horizontal axis. So a student, the graph may start from this origin and it will be a straight line inclined at this, or students, this may be starting at certain distance. So this is the initial distance. Let us consider this initial distance as x. Then like this, it could be. What is the difference in these two? The same difference as we have considered here. Means the object is near to the observer, or initial distance between the object and observer is 0. So that's why it have started like this. In this case, the object is at certain distance initially. It always remains there. That's why it is like this. But if this distance is increasing, then from here it need to be increased. So it is like this. So keep in mind. So these are the two possibilities. So this one is for the situation like observer is here and object is also here. But this one is the observer, the object is here and observer is here. This is the initial gap between the observer and object. Then this distance have gone increasing. Means this is moving. Though from here itself it have started moving. So in this case, V is not 0. Even also V is not 0. So this is what initial distance of this x is our initial distance of object from observer. It is like this. So this we have to keep in mind. So two possibilities. So keep in mind, distance time graph is a straight line inclined with the time axis. Then it is representing uniform motion. That we have to keep in mind. Okay, students. So very important thing. The next one is, even for this uniform motion, for these two cases, we can draw the velocity time graph. So if I draw the velocity time graph, students, velocity for this graph is obtained by taking the slope. Means if I'm taking this much as the time t, and this is what the distance that we have considered, say s, then the velocity is obtained from this angle or tan of this theta. So the velocity obtained is this s by t here. Okay, but if the graph is like this, then we want to calculate the velocity. Then keep in mind, I'm considering up to this much point. Then keep in mind, from this point we have to make the angle. This is the time t. So this much length is our time t on the time axis. But here keep in mind, this is the distance s. Now this is our s. So keep in mind, this much only. I need this much only for calculating the speed. So this much is obtained by, means from here to here only, it is our s minus x. So in this case, the velocity or the speed is calculated by s minus x by t. It is important. Okay, student. So this is how the speed is calculated mathematically by taking the slope of distance time graph. The same thing, the same way can be applied for the acceleration time graph if it is. Students, this is for the uniform motion. It simply means it have a speed which is constant. The value of v that you will obtain here will have some fixed value. Therefore, in this case, if we draw the Vt graph, the second one is our speed time graph. So how will be the speed time graph? For that, we need to put the time on this horizontal axis. Consider this as 0, and the speed on this vertical axis. This has some value. We have some value, say 8 meters per second, 5 meters per second. Surely it will not be 0, so it will come somewhere here, and it always remains the same since it is constant. So it will be a straight line like this. Okay, student? The same thing, the same kind of graph is also obtained here, because here even the speed that we will obtain at t is equals to 0 also. So even in this case also, your speed time graph, the speed is constant, it will be like this. So this is what the representation of speed time graph. As student, for uniform motion, the speed is fixed, so acceleration is not considered unless or until there is direction change. So for this one, the value of acceleration is your 0. So the third graph that we can draw is our acceleration time graph. So let us draw the acceleration time graph for this situation. So the third situation or third one is our acceleration time graph, denoted as AT curve. This is our third one. So for acceleration time graph, we need to plot A on this vertical axis, T on the horizontal axis. In this case, we are getting that acceleration is 0. So this is the point where acceleration is 0, and acceleration always remains 0. So acceleration is 0 for the uniform motion. This way, for the first case or uniform motion, the distance time graph we have plotted, the speed time graph that we have plotted, acceleration time graph we have plotted. So keep in mind, if any of these graph is given, say AT graph is like this one, whose graph is this? You have to keep in mind, if AT graph is a line on the time axis, it could be for the uniform motion or for the rest. That we cannot get from this. But if the graph is like this, VT graph is a line parallel to time axis, then it is surely indicating the uniform motion. Okay? Because this T becomes, or this V becomes 0 for the body at rest. See, you can compare from these three graphs for the rest that we had plotted for the rest. Here again we are getting acceleration time graph A is 0, but for this VT graph you are getting that this V is 0 for rest. But for the uniform motion, V is now not 0, it has some value. So whatever this length is, no, or this upward, it is our V. Okay, student? And the ST graph is a line which is inclined. So these three things you have to keep in mind. So if this graph is plotted, the nature of motion can be predicted. So this was about the uniform motion. From this uniform motion, if from this ST graph, the velocity can be calculated by using this formula. Just calculate the slope, take the ratio of this on y-axis and on this time axis. In this case, if it is starting from certain distance, means initial distance, then take this y-axis carefully as the difference. Okay, applying this. So this was all about the graph for uniform motion. Now let us take the second case, graph for non-uniform motion. Student, keep in mind, this was our graph for uniform motion. So let us consider the for non-uniform motion, non-uniform motion. Students, we have learned that for the non-uniform motion, distance is increasing or decreasing, but not uniformly. So non-uniformly. Or this increase in distance or decrease in distance is not fixed. Here speed may be increasing or decreasing. Because of this change in speed, there is acceleration. A is not zero. So while considering this change in speed, the acceleration obtained may be constant, or it may be possible that the change in speed is such that under different interval we will get different acceleration. A is changing. It is possible. So students, such a non-uniform motion in which acceleration is constant, it is called as uniformly accelerated motion. So it is uniformly accelerated motion. But if acceleration that we can calculate because of change in its speed or velocity itself is different for different interval of time or for different time intervals that we have chosen, though those time intervals may be equal, then such a motion is called as non-uniformly accelerated motion. Keep in mind, it is accelerated motion. It is not simply the uniform motion. Keep in mind, uniform motion means speed is constant, acceleration is zero. But if the acceleration itself is coming as constant, means acceleration is now not zero, but it has some constant value, then it is called as uniformly accelerated motion. But if the acceleration is changing, then it is called as non-uniformly accelerated motion or non-uniform accelerated motion. For a non-uniform motion, if the acceleration is constant, it is called as uniform acceleration. But if the acceleration itself is changing, then it is called as non-uniform acceleration. Keep in mind, for a non-uniform motion, the distance covered in different interval of time will surely be different. As a result, the speed at different time will also be different. The speed is changing. But if the change in speed is such that the acceleration is constant, then it is called as uniform acceleration. Because we have learned that this acceleration is given by v minus u by t. So, if t is constant and this change is fixed, then a will also come as constant. But if t is fixed but the change in velocity is not constant, then that will not be the uniform. Example, if I consider, say, for first 5 seconds, The body is moving with acceleration of say 8 meter per second square. At next 10 second I have observed, or 10 second I have observed, the acceleration was still 8 meter per second square. At 15th second I have observed the acceleration observed to be 8 meter per second square. Means the acceleration is fixed at all the time. It is called as uniform acceleration or uniformly accelerated motion. But if I take another example in which the time that we are taking, say at t is equals to 5 seconds, the acceleration is 8 meter per second square. But at 10th second, I observed that this acceleration has changed to 15 meter per second square. And at the 15th second, I found that the acceleration have reduced to 5 meter per second square. At 20 seconds, the acceleration is 8 meter per second square. So here we are getting that acceleration is changing from 8 to 15 to 5 to 8 also. So this is called as non-uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration. So students, let us write this one also. If we consider the acceleration or accelerated motion, so even for the accelerated motion, we can have the two kind of acceleration. It can be, surely there is acceleration, but one is called as uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration. The other can be the acceleration is changing. That is called as non-uniform acceleration. So, students, what is this uniform acceleration? We have to write that. Students, uniform acceleration means, the term uniform means something is constant. So acceleration have constant value throughout the time. But non-uniform acceleration means the quantity is changing. So acceleration is either varying or changing. Example, the body is moving with an acceleration of 8 meter per second square. It simply means the rate of change of velocity is 8 meter per second. It means, a student, this 8 meter per second square is our acceleration. It is not the speed. So speed will change uniformly. So this simply means the speed increases or decreases. Either it will increase, then continuously it have to be increased, or if it is decreasing, then it continuously have to be decreased. So speed increases or decreases at same rate. Same rate means the rise of speed must be same. Example, if I consider, say from 0 to 1 second, let us consider this 0 second and this is 1 second, or let us put the time interval on this axis to understand this. Then 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Students, so 0 to 1 second, the speed is say 10 meter per second. This I am considering. Then in next, the speed must have increased by certain amount. Let us consider this have gone to the 18 meter per second. Then in next, how much speed increase is there? In this interval, the same increase in speed have to be occurring next. So here increase is of the 8 meter per second. This is what the increase. So the next one should also be increased by the same 8, means 18 plus 8. It should must be 26 meter per second. The next one should also increase by 8. From this 26, it becomes 34 meter per second, so on. So this is the meaning of speed increase or decrease must be at same rate or uniform. Uniform means the same rate. It is this one. But if I consider the non-uniform acceleration, in this case, acceleration is changing. One is it is 8 meter per second square for some time. Another time this have increased to 10 meter per second square. Another time it might have decreased or increased, say 4 meter per second square. So that's why this acceleration value is not fixed throughout the motion. So in this case, how to understand this physically? The change in speed is not fixed. So write this: change in speed is not fixed. Means what? In terms of this, if we consider the motion start from 0 second, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. Let us consider in the first 0 to 1, the speed be 10 meter per second. In next, this have increased by, let us consider the 8, say 18 meter per second. In next, it is not going to increase by 8. It may increase by 10, say it become 28 meter per second. In next time, it need not again increase by 8. It may be increased by 12 or maybe decreased also. Let us consider this with the 40 meter per second. Another time, it might have been decreased. Let us take this as the 20 meter per second. So as students, if this increase or decrease in speed is not fixed, then it is called as non-uniform acceleration, because the acceleration is obtained by the increase in speed. So in this uniform accelerated motion, we are getting the change of speed or the increase of speed is always at the fixed rate. But for non-uniform motion, the change in speed is different. Like here it is 8, here it is 10, here it is 12, here again it is our minus of 20, means decrease. Correct? So if there is variation or the increase or decrease in speed is different, then it is non-uniformly accelerated motion. So student, write what is the definition of uniformly accelerated motion. So a body is said to be under uniform accelerated motion if the speed is changing by equal amount in equal interval of time. What we were using earlier for uniform motion. There we were using the distance covered is equal in equal interval of time. But here we have to take the change in speed. So right, a body is said to be in uniform acceleration if its speed or velocity, we may take velocity is the better term. If its velocity changes by equal amount in equal interval of time. Interval of time. So the time interval is always equal. Here we have to take the velocity changes by equal amount. Next, the body is said to be non-uniform acceleration. So a body is in non-uniform acceleration if its speed changes unequally, means the change in speed is not equal, changes unequally in equal interval of time. This we have to keep in mind, student. So time interval is always equal, but here change in speed is unequal. Okay, student? But here the change in speed is, or velocity change is always equal. A student, just recall that for uniform motion, what it was, the body was said to be in uniform motion if it covers equal distance in equal interval of time. So for uniform motion, it was distance. For non-uniform motion, it was the body cover unequal distance in equal interval of time. So keep in mind, for defining uniform acceleration, acceleration is defined in the term of velocity. That's why it is defined like this. So change in velocity is equal in equal interval of time. The change in velocity is unequal in equal interval of time. Okay, so how these physical quantities are related, in that term we are defined. So this was about uniform and non-uniform acceleration. It is also in your book and the question is asked. Now, for a non-uniform motion means two kind of motion, either uniformly accelerated, non-uniformly accelerated. So in these two categories, we have to draw the graph. Okay, so write the graph. The second that we are plotting, I have just explained what is uniform and non-uniform motion. So for the non-uniform motion, this non-uniform motion itself, it can be non-uniform, though the motion is non-uniform, but it is uniform acceleration or uniform accelerated motion. And the other category is our non-uniform accelerated motion. Accelerated motion. Students, so graph for non-uniform motion we have to draw for these two conditions. Again, this graph can be your ST graph, means displacement time graph, or distance time graph, VT graph, means velocity time or speed time, or it can be the third, acceleration time graph. So these three kind of graph we have to draw for the uniformly accelerated motion, for non-uniformly accelerated. Keep in mind, the body is in motion. It simply means its distance is changing, and distance time graph that we had already learned. Also, it is in non-uniform, so velocity or speed is also changing. Acceleration is fixed one. So as students, we will plot for these three kind of graph for the uniform motion. Let us consider the ST graph. As students, if we plot the ST graph for uniformly accelerated motion, you will find that the ST graph increases like this. This we had also drawn earlier. Now, if we plot the velocity time graph for the same uniform motion, we had also plotted. Let me redraw it. So students, again keep in mind this velocity time graph. The two things we have to consider, either or even this can also be of this kind. A student, if the body have started from certain distance, then it can be like this one also. Both mean the same thing. So a starting point need not be matching with this origin. This match if the distance or the observer and the body in motion at the same place. A student, now considering for the VT graph. So VT graph, if the body have started from rest, then the motion or the curve is like this. This is our time. So this is here, the starting speed is your 0 or initial speed, which was denoted as u. This value is 0 here, because you are getting at t is equals to 0, the speed is also 0. But it may also be possible that while the body is in motion, the velocity time graph we are drawing, initially when you started observation, the body was initially moving at some speed. Means you have started observing a car which was already initially moving at the speed of 10 km per hour. And just you have observed for some time, the speed have increased to 20 km per hour. So this is the initial speed u that we have to take. Okay, students? So it is the velocity time graph. Students, keep in mind from this distance time, this velocity time we have drawn. From this velocity time graph, even the third one called acceleration time graph can be drawn. Students, how is the acceleration time graph? So this is our acceleration on y-axis, t on this axis, this is our 0. So this have, you are getting that this is uniform, means acceleration is there, this acceleration is constant. It must have some value, say 8 km per hour square, or say 8 meter per hour second square. So this acceleration is not 0 now, rather acceleration will have some value. This is the value of that acceleration. This is our constant. So this we have observed. This is difference from the uniform motion where this acceleration was coinciding with this time axis. It is this one. A student, it is very important. So these are the situation. This acceleration time graph will be same even for this one also. Students, how this acceleration is calculated? So for calculating the acceleration, you have to take this velocity time graph. You have to take certain time interval. Let me take for this time interval. So this much time I am taking as the t itself, maybe 5 seconds or 10 seconds. This much is p that we are going to take. Let us call this as the v. So in this case, the acceleration a is obtained by v minus this itself is the v by t. Okay, student. But if I consider this graph, if the VT graph is like this one, which is most important case, then we want to calculate the acceleration. So let us take for certain time interval, this much time interval as the t and this much. Then for calculating the acceleration, I need the change in speed. Let us call this much value as, from here, it is v. So this much gap, this much is the change. This change is obtained as v minus u. So acceleration is given by v minus u divided by the time interval is this one t, because in this triangle we are observing what is their vertical and how is their horizontal. So taking this vertical change by the horizontal. Therefore, here we are taking v minus u by t. So this is what the acceleration formula even that we have learned earlier. So this way the acceleration is calculated. Okay, student? So acceleration have this value is what? Whatever this value we have calculated here. So for the uniform motion, the distance time graph is a curve which is projected outward. Students, here we have considered the distance is continuously increasing. If the distance is decreasing, then you may come across like this one. This one. This kind of graph is also possible. Initially it have increased too much, then it is not increasing that much faster. Even this kind of graph is also possible, student. Say the speed or the displacement is decreasing. It is like this one. So any of this curve is possible for non-uniformly accelerated motion. But student, at your standard, you have to just understand these two cases. These two cases are important for you. You may leave this part. Okay. So for these cases, the velocity time graph is this one. The acceleration time graph, acceleration is constant. So a line parallel to the time axis. So this one. Now let us come for the non-uniform motion. A student, pay attention. In this case, for the non-uniform motion, the distance time graph or the first that we are plotting is our ST graph. In this case also, the distance and time, they are going to increase or they are also going to change. So it will also be a curve, but it will be a very fast curve. In comparison to this curve will be much faster. Okay? Or it can be like this one. Say once it have increased, another time it have decreased. Distance and time. So where once increase, other time decrease means distance covered is different in different interval of time, such that their rate or rise rate is also not constant. This rise rate or tangent gives the speed or instantaneous speed that you will learn in higher standard. Those things I do not want to go. Just keep in mind, for non-uniformly accelerated motion, even this rise is very steep in comparison to this. Here, though it was also a curve, but it was increasing slowly, but abruptly it will increase. Okay, almost it become parallel to this distance axis. Or once it have increased, then it have decreased. Or a student, any zigzag line, if it is given, so if ST graph is any zigzag line, a student, keep in mind, returning this way is not possible. This much graph, this much part of this graph is not possible because the time is decreasing. So that's why this graph will never given to you, because the time always have to increase like this. So this graph is also for the non-uniform motion. So if any zigzag part is given, then that is called as non-uniform motion. Right? Just one more thing. Say once it have increased, this graph, ST graph, this is not possible graph. This is not possible. Why not possible? Very important to understand, because such kind of question are asked in your MCQs and in your NTSC. As student, we have learned that time should always be increasing. So here observe it, you are getting that while body is moving, the time is increasing, while body is here, the time is this much. At this time, the body is moving over this much, though the distance have decreased. At this time, it is here. Coming to this time, or even the last one, it is here. Okay, it's okay. But you are getting that after this means what? After this point, the time will still continue to increase. So this graph cannot come backward. If it is coming backward, it means what? Say, consider this point. At this point, the body is at two positions. This is the first position, and on extending this, it is going to cut here. It is the second position, which is practically never possible. Okay, student? Because at this time, whatever it may be, maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds, you will observe that the body is at position 1. How is the position 1? This position 1 is corresponding to this much distance. Okay, no, S1. And this is at the position 2, means S2. Means you are saying that object is at 10 meters away from you as well as 20 meters away from you. Say, can you occupy two positions at the same time? Can you be at your home as well as in your playground at the same time? No. Matter or a person cannot occupy. Perhaps it can be the God only. Okay, student? So that's why this position or such kind of graph is not possible, because at one time, two position is not possible at the same time. So not possible. Why? So two positions or two distance at same time. Or the other thing you may understand like this also, that after this time, once the time have increased, so in your clock you have started observing at the 2 o'clock. Okay, 2 to 3 you have reached to. After this 3, the time will surely increase. So this graph shall surely be in this direction only. How this can come back? If it is coming back, though the distance increase or decrease is possible, but negative time or returning time or taking the time reverseward is not possible. Get it? So that's why in MCQ it is asked, which of this graph is not possible? So if the graph is like this, it is not possible graph. It is very important for NTSC and competitive examination. So questions are quite frequent from this part. So as students, considering the distance time graph for the uniform motion or uniform motion, it was the straight line incline. For non-uniform motion, it is the curve, but with uniformly accelerated non-uniform motion, it is slowly increasing. But for non-uniform motion with non-uniform acceleration, either this rise is very sharp, or once this increasing distance, another decreasing distance, or even zigzag. But keep in mind, this should continuously in rightward always. It cannot return back, because if it is returning, means at the same time the body have to occupy two positions, which is not possible. So this graph is not possible at all. Okay, it is this one. So such kind of plot is for, as these three, is for the non-uniform motion. Okay, student? Sorry. And this was for the uniform motion. So we have plotted the ST graph. Now let us go for the VT graph. Students, so the VT graph for non-uniform motion. Student, just we have drawn the VT graph for uniform motion. Sorry, for the uniformly accelerated motion. We have observed that this VT graph is a straight line inclined at time axis. Either start from the origin if the initial speed is 0, and it will not start from the origin if initial speed u is here not 0. It is this one. If we draw the speed time or VT graph for non-uniform motion, then it is like this. See, in this case, the speed is not increasing uniformly. Means what? The VT graph will be like this one. Okay, student? So VT graph will now like this one. Ready? In this case, may be possible that if you are observing or initial speed is not 0, then it may be like this one. Ready? The third one is our AT graph. AT graph. If we consider the acceleration time graph, in this case, acceleration is not fixed. So acceleration either may be increasing or the acceleration may be decreasing. It is for the retardation. So acceleration may be increasing, may be decreasing. Even it is also possible that this acceleration may not be a straight line. That may also be like this one. Okay. So such a motion or such a graph where acceleration is not constant is non-uniform motion. Okay. Here distance time graph is very much strip-rise or zigzag. The velocity time graph is slowly, it is rising upward. Okay. The acceleration time may be a straight line but must be inclined if the acceleration is even increasing. Even if the acceleration is varying, then that may also be the curve. A student, out of this graph that we have summarized, the most important graph is this one. So this part or this one is the most important graph. So what is this graph? We have just listed here. So this is for the non-uniform motion or with the uniform accelerated motion. So this is the VT graph for non-uniform and uniformly accelerated motion. So non-uniform is the motion. Within that non-uniform, it is uniformly accelerated motion. Non-uniform is the speed is changing. That simply means that it is very important. Because keep in mind, from this velocity time graph, the distance covered can be calculated, or taking this slope, this acceleration can be calculated. So this is most important, and considering this, we are going to derive. Using this, the distance covered can be calculated. The displacement can be calculated from this. So displacement can be calculated how? From the area, and calculating the area bounded by this graph with this time axis, you will get that this S is going to give us UT plus half AT square. This we are going to derive right now. Afterward, we will stop the class. So please keep patience for a few more time. Okay. So we are going to derive this. Numerical we will do tomorrow, and also this circular motion. So today at least we have to derive this. So student, let us go for the most important thing. That either if the question is asking deriving the formula S is equals to UT plus half AT square graphically, it is this one, or just VT graph for uniformly accelerated or uniform accelerated motion. This one. Okay, students. So for uniform accelerated motion, How is the VT graph? Just we have load. So acceleration is there. So here acceleration value is not there. But change in speed is always equal. This is the characteristic. And acceleration is calculated by this change in speed by the time. It is this. The VT graph, in which let us consider the body initially have the speed u. So this is initial speed and v is its other final speed. Then this delta v is obtained as v minus u. So that's why this becomes v minus u by the time interval t. So let us draw this VT graph once again. Just we have learned that. So student, this was the explanation, but if it is asked for deriving this, then you have to write like this. Let a body having initial velocity u is moving with uniform acceleration. It is very important. Acceleration. Denote this acceleration by A. U was the initial. Keep in mind, you represent your initial velocity. The acceleration is A. And in time t, means the t is the time that we are taking, the speed becomes now what? That we are denoting by v. Then its v versus t graph is, you have to just write this much statement, then you have to draw the VT graph. Students, keep in mind, here we are going to draw the VT graph. So very important thing. So velocity on this vertical axis, t is for this horizontal axis. This v is the symbol used, okay, for this vertical axis, t here for the horizontal axis. Now the body have initial speed u, means at time is equals to 0 on this vertical axis where the velocity is there, it must have some initial value. Initial value u is from here to here, this much. So this much gap is, it must be your 10 meter per second, 5 meter per second, 2 meter per second, any one value. While it is moving, it have uniform acceleration. Then we have learned that for the uniform acceleration, the graph is a straight line inclined. Okay, so from here we can make such line. Let us consider this one. So this is the line, or this is the graph that we are considering. So this speed increase means the speed is increasing. Now at this time where we have marked this, so this is the time t that we are considering at this time t. This t also have some value, say 10 minute or 50 second or even in hour. So at this time t, the speed have become v. So here how the v, where is the v? So v is this one. Okay students, it is this one. How much is the v? From this axis, from 0 to this point, it is our v. Students, this is the plot, means you just forget This dotted line is for allocating our V and T only. So leaving this dotted line, this solid line is representing the curve. Let me mark it by gray. This is the curve. Now, from this V and T plot, we can calculate how much is the total displacement of the body. A student? So, displacement of body in time t we want to calculate is how much? Means the displacement that we want to know, how much is the displacement. As student, we have learned that from the VT graph we can calculate two things. So from VT graph we can calculate the acceleration and the displacement also. The body is moving with uniform acceleration. Here we have taken. Means what? The slope is going to give us the acceleration A. So right here, from graph, or from the plot that we have drawn, acceleration is given by the slope of this graph. So acceleration A that we are denoting will be obtained by making a triangle from this U till V. For that, let us construct a triangle. From here to here, this much triangle we need to construct. Then taking this much value by this much value is going to give us the A. So acceleration A is obtained by this. What is this? If I am denoting this by delta V, then it is given by delta V. Delta means the change in the velocity. And this is the time t by t. Students, how we can calculate this delta V? Keep in mind, this is the upper limit which have the value V. This is the lower limit which have the value U. So this much distance or this much gap can be calculated by V minus U. So this delta V is nothing but it is V minus U. So it is this one. It means what? As students, this acceleration A is nothing but V minus U by T. Or if required, we can rearrange this as AT is equals to V minus U. Or even taking this V on U on left hand side, U plus AT is equals to V. So V is equals to U plus AT. This is the first derivation even that we had done by using the formula for acceleration. But the same thing we have also allocated from this graph also. Okay, student? So we have to write from the graph, acceleration is equals to slope. This is given by V minus U by T. This is from the graph. Okay? How we have taken this? I had explained. Students, just rearranging this, it is going to give us V is equals to U plus AT. So wherever required, I will use this one. Ready? Student? Keep in mind here, what is this V or how much is V? V is from this point to this point. Even for understanding this, let us give the name. Consider this as O itself. O itself. This point U where it is as A. This point as B, mark this point as C, this point as D. Okay, students? So from this slope, by considering this vertical axis, by horizontal axis, the acceleration we have written. Now, even from this graph, we can calculate the displacement. How is our displacement from the graph? So displacement is calculated by area under this VT curve with time axis. This we have learned. Means what, students? If we consider the area, means this curve we have to consider from A to B. So considering this A to B is this curve that we have drawn here, this curve, and area with this curve and this time axis, means time up to which this curve is drawn. You are getting? Corresponding to this, the time is only this much. So the area between this curve and this, how is that area? That area is quite easily visible, students. It is nothing but it is this much. You can observe or you can get here. It is this much. These are the area. It is this one. Okay? So it is nothing but it is a trapezium. So we can write this area is area of trapezium. This trapezium, give the name. If I start from this O, student observe it carefully. If I start from the O to A to B, B to this D, then back to A, this much area. So we have to write it O, A, B, D. O, A, B, D. But the challenge is that how to calculate this area. Student, here we are getting that. How to calculate this area? This area had to be calculated in the term of U, A, and T. That way, by substitution, we will get it. But for calculating this entire area, here we are getting that area of any unknown figure or unknown shape can be calculated by dividing the given figure in the term of area of known figure. That is the only concept. For that, here I may divide this into the two area. One is the area of this triangle. Means consider the area of this triangle once, and another time the area of the rectangle. So this becomes the area of the triangle that one may consider. The entire area is this area of this triangle, plus another one is our area of this rectangle. This is the rectangle that we are getting. Okay? So area of this rectangle. Getting my students? So this way the entire area can be obtained. So this way we can write this as area of trapezium OABD is equals to area of triangle ABC or area of triangle ACB, which is a right angle triangle whose sides are V minus U as one side and T as the other side. Another one is the area of this rectangle whose side is nothing but this much side. CD is same as that of U, same as OA. So this is U and this side is same as that of AC, which is our T. This way the area of this trapezium is area of triangle plus area of rectangle. Area of triangle will be calculated by half into AC into CB, and area of this green rectangle is calculated by base OD into its height CD. Okay, this we have to write now. Therefore, the area of trapezium can be calculated by area of triangle. Student, mark it OCB. O, not O. Student, mark it. It is ACB. So area of the triangle ACB plus area of another one is our rectangle. Now this rectangle, the lower rectangle, ODCA. ODCA. Now area of the triangle is given by half into its base into height. Student, forget this part for a moment. You are looking for the triangle. So its area is given by base into height by 2. So the base is AC and height is CB. This is 90 degree. So it is half into AC into CB plus the area of rectangle. Students, this much we have completed. So just forget this triangle for a moment. You have to observe this rectangle. So for the rectangle, this side is OD and DC. So it is OD multiplied by DC. This is the formula for the area of triangle and rectangle that we are using, nothing else. Now this is half our AC that we have to substitute. Keep in mind, a student, our AC is delta V, means like V minus U. So AC is nothing but it is V minus U, and CB is nothing but it is our time T, plus coming for this next, OD is T and DT is our T and U. Okay, student, this way we have obtained this. Now, a student, from the slope we have just calculated, A is V minus U by T, or just cross multiplication, we are getting that AT is V minus U, or V minus U is nothing but it is 80, or even, a student, the same is written as V is equals to U plus 80. Now we are going to use this V minus U is equals to 80, or substitute V is equals to U plus 80 from 1 in equation 2. Here we are getting that. What was this V minus U that we have calculated here? The same is V minus U here. So we can substitute in place of V minus U as 80. That much simple. Or even you want to remove this V in the term of U, you can use this first. V is equals to U plus 80. Okay, student? So right here, this can be written as half. This value is nothing but our 80, and this T is out. Plus, keep this U first and T next, UT. How we have written this? Here we have used 1. So using 1, in 1 we have written this V minus U is 80. Okay, this one. Or in place of this V, you can substitute U plus 80. Then you will get cancelled. You will get the 80. So anyway you substitute, you will get the same result. So on substituting, V is equals to U plus 80, or V minus U is equals to 80, we are getting that it's get converted into half, 80 into T. So students, the first term become half, A is outside, T into T become T square plus U into T. A student, displacement is commonly denoted by this symbol S. So in left hand side we can write this. A student, these are the two terms. It is same as, let me write UT first and this half AT next. Just we have rearranged this term. So what we are getting, students, this way we have reached that S is equals to UT plus half AT square. It was this one. So this way the formula is derived, and this equation is called as the second kinematic equation. It's very important equation. Okay, student? So therefore you may write here S is equals to UT plus half AT square. Hence it is proved. Okay, student? Student, keep in mind this question is directly asked in this way. Derive S equals to UT plus half AT square by drawing VT graph, or even if it is just asked, prove S equals to UT plus half AT square, still you have to do this. So student, this was our explanation. You can leave this much, but you have to start from here. Okay, just you have to write one statement. You have to draw the VT graph for uniform acceleration. Okay, no student, this is for uniform acceleration only. If acceleration is changing at that time, this will not be a straight line, and this formula do not hold good. So that we have to keep in mind. The formula or the displacement that we obtained is S equals to UT plus half AT square. So let us write it. Thus, what we have, the kinematic equation that we have learned, V is U plus AT. It is the first kinetic equation that we are knowing. The second kinetic equation that just we have derived is UT plus half AT square, where the symbol that here we are using have the same as earlier. It's like S is displacement, U is initial velocity, T is time, A is acceleration. The same thing. Now, we are going to take this T from equation 1 and substitute in 2. Then we will get another third equation. So student, the other one is take T from 1 and put in 2, or substituting in 2. What we will get? So student, keep in mind, from the first equation we want to get the value of T. So let us rearrange it. Means our first equation is V is equals to U plus AT. Students, this simply means V minus U is equals to AT. Just we had brought it on the left hand side. Bring this A in denominator, V minus U by A. Only T will left here. So just what we have written, the T that we have obtained from this first equation is V minus U by A. It is the equation 3 that we have derived from equation 1. It is just a rearranged form of equation 1. These 3 we are going to substitute in 2. Means now we are putting this 3 in 2. What we are going to get? A student, just we have learned our S is UT plus half AT square. Students, in place of T, means this T I am going to put here. Therefore, it gets converted into U. Take it. In place of T, we are going to put V minus U by A plus half acceleration A is there. Our T is V minus U by A. There a square we have to do. Keep in mind, the second bracket is your square. Now we have to solve this or simplify this. A student, we can write this, or even this U is for the numerator. We can take it in the numerator itself. So it is like U V minus U square by A. This is the first. Now the second. Students, keep in mind, what is this? A is outside. This square indicate V minus U square by A square. So half A, let me keep. This square is for the V minus U, their square first, and then A, their square. It simply means that. Okay. So let me, you people are knowing all these things, so let me simplify this. So denominator remains this square means a square. Numerator v minus u square, we are free to apply the identity, which is now v square plus u square minus 2v into u. This much will come in numerator. Now, student, we are getting this a is outside and this a is in denominator. So one of this a square can be cancelled. What is left is uv minus u square by a plus this 2 will come, or 2 can be written in denominator. So v square plus u square minus 2uv by, in denominator this 2, another a, 2a. Now we have to add these two. So this is like one fraction, this is other fraction. So denominator become 2a. For this a get cancelled, so 2 is left. So this entire numerator will multiply with this 2. So this becomes twice of 2 multiplied by this entire numerator. So 2 multiplied by u into v minus u square plus v square plus u square minus twice uv. Let us simplify this quickly. 2 will multiply to each of this term. So it becomes twice of uv minus twice of u square. Removing the second bracket because outside this bracket there is plus sign. So no question. Plus v square plus u square minus twice of uv. In denominator we have already this 2a. Here we are getting twice of uv. Twice of uv have opposite sign, they are getting cancelled. Students, this v square minus 2u square and u square means it become u square only. So we can write v square, this one, the like term is u square and u square. It is minus 2u square. U square minus 2u square become u square only, and denominator is 2a. What is on our left hand side? Left hand side is still our the displacement s. So just go for now rearranging. S into 2a is equals to v square minus u square. So left hand side is just written like this. 2a is written first, then s is v square minus u square. Or you may remember here, or you may bring this u square on left hand side, u square plus 2as is equals to v square. Or student, v square is written first, is u square plus 2as. So this is the third formula of kinetic equation. Therefore, the kinematic equation or the important mathematical formula that we have derived equations. So there are 3 in number that we had already derived all these 3. So the first one is our v is u plus at. Second is our s is ut plus half at square. The third one just we have derived is our v square is u square plus 2as. So these are the 3 kinematic equations that we have to keep in mind. Where, what are these symbols represent, student? That is more important. Starting with u, wherever u is anywhere in this, like this u as well as this u. So u denotes your initial speed. Rather, it is initial velocity. That is better term. The wherever v is there, it is your final velocity. Yes, students. So v represents the final velocity. Students, wherever a is there, it is the acceleration. This acceleration is for changing the speed from u to v. That you have to keep in mind. And t is your time taken. This time taken is nothing but it is time taken to change its speed from u to v. That you have to keep in mind. So acceleration to change, write in full form, speed from u to v, write this in the bracket. Also, this is the time taken to change speed or other velocity, that is the better term in these two cases, to change velocity from u to v. Okay, student, very important thing to understand.
Sir.
Other S is also here. This S is displacement. Keep in mind, it is not the distance. It is this one. So these are the symbols that we are using here. Also, you have to note that all these above quantity means above quantities. What are these quantities? Like our U, V, A, and S, this one. Excluding the T, because T is a scalar. Above quantities, these are the vector, which are vectors, and vectors can be negative or positive. So above quantities must be taken with this sign, whether it is positive or negative. So must be taken. How to take with this sign? Next day I will explain. Taken with suitable sign. Suitable sign. This sign means that is either positive or negative, depending on which condition it is satisfying. It is this one. Also, we have to keep in mind these three mathematical relation that we have derived. It is called as kinematic equation, and these are vector equations. These are vector equations. Keep in mind, it is not the scalar, because it is correlating the vector quantities. Only time is the scalar, and time can be associated with anyone. Therefore, we are taking sign is important. Sign is important. So must include this quantity with this sign. It is not the scalar. So keep in mind, S is here the displacement, not the distance. Getting now? And these are velocities. So this was all about the today's class, where I have explained how to derive other two kinematic equation. S equals to ut plus half at square, v square is equals to u square plus 2as, by using the second by the graph and third by the substitution. Okay, student. So this was all about v is u plus at. ये तो पहला इक्वेशन हमने पहले पढ़ा दिए थे. It is nothing but it is acceleration. A is given by v minus u by t. तो जस्ट आपने इसको रीअरेंज कर लिया, इससे ये मिला. ओके स्टूडेंट. अभी देखिए, दूसरा हमें डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैलकुलेट करना है, तो इसके लिए हमने जो मेथड यूज किया, अभी आपके स्टैंडर्ड में जो चाहिए, वीटी ग्राफ हमने यूज किया, क्योंकि बॉडी वाज इनिशियली मूविंग. सो यू लिया इसका एक्सीलरेशन विथ यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन. Okay, student, here one more thing you have to keep in mind. This formula is for uniform acceleration only. For uniform acceleration only. If the acceleration is changing, or if the body is having variable acceleration, then we cannot apply this. Student, if acceleration is going to be 0, then still the initial condition is applicable. Say if a is 0, distance covered is ut, means speed into time, the same as the basic relation. The third one that we have obtained here is, so using 1 in 2. पहले को हम दूसरे में यूज किए, तो पहले से हमने टाइम निकाल के दूसरे में डाल दिया, तो हमें तीसरा मिल गया. तो स्टूडेंट, हमने जो स्टार्टिंग में पढ़े थे वही है पहला इक्वेशन, दूसरा हमने ग्राफ से ड्राइव किया, तीसरे को हमने टाइम पहले से निकाल के दूसरे में डाला। क्यों? क्योंकि थर्ड इक्वेशन में देखिए कहीं टाइम नहीं है, इसीलिए हमने पहले से टाइम निकाल के दूसरे में डाल दिया, तो टाइम गेट्स एलिमिनेटेड, वी आर गेटिंग अ न्यू स्टूडेंट
इनटू सी भी उधर सर।
इस वाले में अभी आपको क्या यहाँ पे डाउट है?
हाँ सर।
देखिए स्टूडेंट क्या है, आपको इस इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करना है। आप जस्ट ये चीज समझिए, आपको इतने इक्वेशन को आपको सॉल्व करने हैं। जस्ट यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड दिस मच इक्वेशन वी वांट टू जस्ट सॉल्व इट, गेटिंग नो? तो यहां देखिए इसमें v है, u है, t है, बट अपने को v नहीं चाहिए। तो स्टूडेंट मैं चाहूं तो देखिए मैं इधर आपको सॉल्व करके दिखाता हूं दूसरे तरीके से। हाफ दिस इज द इक्वेशन दैट आई एम टेकिंग इज v माइनस u इंटू t प्लस ut। देखिए tu लिखिए और ut लिखिए, एक ही चीज है। ओके स्टूडेंट, अभी देखिए v माइनस u, तो मैं अभी इस v को उठा के यहां पे पुट कर देता हूं, ठीक है? तो देखिए हाफ v के जगह हमें क्या पुट करने पड़ेंगे, u प्लस 80, बट ये u तो पहले से है यहां पे, तो ये हमें सब्ट्रैक्ट करने पड़ेंगे एक और u, तब जाके ब्रैकेट क्लोज होगा, फिर ये t बाहर रह जाएगा, प्लस ये ut जो बाहर का है ये बाहर ही रहना है। अभी देखिए इस केस में u एंड u आर गेटिंग कैंसिल्ड, व्हाट इज लेफ्ट, हाफ इस ब्रैकेट के अंदर 80 है, एक और बाहर से t प्लस ut। स्टूडेंट देखिए अभी a तो एक ही है बट t दो है, तो t स्क्वायर प्लस ut आ गया। सो आई हैव इन दिस केस आई हैव जस्ट रिप्लेस दिस v, बट यदि अपने को v माइनस u का वैल्यू पूरा का पूरा पता है तो मैं डायरेक्टली यहां पे मैं ये v माइनस u का एक ही बार वैल्यू पुट कर दूं तो भी अपने को डायरेक्ट मैं 80 पुट कर सकता था। सो आई हैव टेकन दैट वे, जस्ट v माइनस u आई हैव जस्ट यूज्ड 80। अदरवाइज आप ओनली v पुट करेंगे, v इज इक्वल्स टू u प्लस 80, देन दिस u विल आल्सो गेट कैंसिल्ड, यू विल गेट द सेम रिजल्ट। इसी में डाउट था? अभी क्लियर हुआ? एनी मोर डाउट देन प्लीज आस्क।